Are you experiencing self-doubt and overthinking it? Welcome to Imposter Syndrome. Most of us are naturally self-reflective beings, meaning we all experience imposter syndrome to a greater or lesser extent. The question is, are you suffering from imposter syndrome? Suffering is always dictated by our thinking, and our thinking is always driven by our self-beliefs. Maybe your possibly subconscious belief is I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy of recognition. So what's the solution? The solution is a process. It's certainly not a flick of a switch. Firstly, accept that you will always have a degree of imposter syndrome, and your job is to radically turn down the volume of your imposter syndrome. Secondly, understand where this belief comes from. You can't change what you don't understand. Thirdly, own it without blaming others, including parents, family, and teachers. When you fully own it, you can choose what happens next. Fourthly, engage with your feelings. Build a relationship with this feeling part of yourself through journaling and meditation. Connect with the feelings that lock down your belief. All negative feelings are attached to a belief. For me, feelings of anxiety are attached to a not good enough belief. So I engage with this anxiety, not good enough belief dynamic. One can't exist without the other. It's a dynamic duo. I find it helps to give it a name. I call it Jake. So now learn to build this conversation between your grown-up adult persona and this dynamic duo with self-inquiry, journaling, and meditation. For example, I like to start a conversation in my journal. I use one page as my belief/anxiety self, called Jake, and I use the opposite page as my grown-up intellectual self. My adult self then asks my feelings belief self a series of questions like, what's going on? How are you feeling? Where do you think that feeling comes from? And what can we do to help with that? Jake then answers these questions openly on the opposite page. Often one question and response will naturally lead to another new question. When you've engaged with your inner world. Now, here's the interesting bit. In this journaling dialogue, explore some minor challenges that disprove your limiting belief. Using baby steps, you can gradually introduce different levels of challenge to further disprove your self-limiting belief. We say self-limiting because when you understand, own, and connect with this part of yourself, you take back control of your belief. And this is only half the battle. The other half is building small challenges to disprove your belief. Now, ask some more questions of yourself. This self-limiting belief part of your mindset. For example, these additional questions could be, are you ready to create a challenge that will help in the long term? What would you be willing to do? That's a next level challenge. And finally, because you have built a relationship between your adult persona and your belief self, you realize you have created a bonus benefit. And that is, you no longer feel alone and isolated with your imposter syndrome. If you need support in this healing process, take a look at my website, stephenelliker.coach, and book a free discovery call, and let's see how I can support you.